Hello there, music lovers and enthusiasts. I'm George from Audiophile-Heaven and I'm an enthusiast. Today I'm enthusiastic about the review. This is the iBasso DX220 Max. This is a max size DAP, and this is a very short presentation, as I would call it, or unboxing of the DX220 Max, because it presents the main highlights of the product, and I need more time for really describing it, and those are some first-hand observations I have about it. I've already used it for about a week or two, so I can give you this video. The unboxing is quite interesting. This is a very large DAP. And as always, iBasso does not disappoint. This is the main case, and this is the Audiophile-Heaven unit, because it is signed for Audiophile-Heaven. As you can see here, this is the Audiophile-Heaven unit. This is the DX220, and it has about 1 kilogram. This is 1 kilogram of audiophile player DAP. Beneath the main package and the main first part of the package, you can find a few things. For example, you can find a little envelope which has some information about the DX220 Max. You can also find screen protectors. I have applied one on the front because it does not come with one applied on the front, and I may replace the one on the back once it wears out. The one on the back has a few scratches, but that is because I haven't even removed the protective tipla. The screen protector has another very thin protector applied after it has been applied ex factory. There is a lot of applying of screen protectors going on, but anyways, I have not removed that one, so this is why my unit has a few scratches on the back. Even the screen protector is not yet scratched, so don't worry. It comes with a case. There is a leather case included, and after the stories I've heard about FiO M15 getting hot, I was expecting this one to be even hotter. And guess what? It isn't. iBasso managed to keep it pretty cool, and I'm really happy about that. The DX220 gets only moderately hot, so iBasso included a leather case. This one is leather or pleather. I am not quite sure because it doesn't quite have that typical leather smell, but it feels very high quality. It is brown in color. I don't really like the color, and I don't really like this case in particular. I tend to use DAPs without a case. It slides right into the case, and this is how it looks with the case applied. This is the DX220 Max with the case. This is more of a transportable DAP rather than a portable player, and I love it. I really love this thing. It is exactly what I needed. It has better quality than the original DX120, and the Max version actually sounds better. And I didn't really need it to be more portable than this, because I anyways used every single DAP in a sideback like that from DD Hi-Fi, and yeah, since that is a truth, 1 kilogram or a few 100 grams, it is the same to me. I will be very honest about it. It is the same as long as it sounds best. I don't really care what size and what weight it has. It has a slightly larger size than what I would consider okay for my hand. I mean, compared to your typical smartphone, it is quite a bit thicker, about 5 times as thick as my smartphone. It is also quite a bit larger, and this volume knob is at the bottom, so this is how it looks like. This is how you actually hold it. It is the DX220 Max, and in general, I found that it is a very high quality DAP, and it works quite excellent as a DAP. Although this size may turn off some people, it has 2 different batteries, and that is something to explain, but first let's start it up. Starting up the DX220 Max doesn't take quite that long. It takes longer to start up my smartphone, so the Android version of it runs pretty smoothly. It has a very nice startup boot animation from iBasso. It reads all of my music collection, and I'm quite happy about that. It doesn't really hiccup, it doesn't really have any kind of issue, but it doesn't really have buttons either, so there are no buttons for controlling the playback on the sides, which means that to control the playback you either need to open it and use your finger, or you need to pair it with a Bluetooth remote. There are a ton of tiny Bluetooth remotes which can be used to control the DX220 Max. It has 3 outputs at the bottom, 1 line out, 1 balanced output, and 1 phone output, which is the main headphone output. The balanced line out is in 4.4 millimeters, which is unique. Not a lot of devices are expecting a balanced output in 4.4 millimeters. so it may be a bit hard to find something to use with it. The balanced output is in the 4.4 millimeter and it is louder, more clear, better controlled than the single-ended output. It is considerably so much that I have started to use only the balanced while I'm using it because I prefer the sound of the balanced output. The headphone output is actually very good, very clean. It is pretty much in line with AMP7, but a bit quieter, while the balanced output is quite a bit better. It is in line with AMP Opt for DX220. It sounds very nice. One thing I've noticed is that I keep turning the volume almost up to the maximum while I'm using it as a USB DAC. So when using it as a DAP, it tends to sound a bit louder than when used as a USB DAC to my computer. It works as a USB DAC when connected to my computer, but I feel the need to turn volume quite a bit louder. The volume wheel is very hard to turn, it is not the smoothest out there, but after turning it a few times it's in line with what I would expect. There is no channel imbalance, because it has a volume wheel you may expect it to have some. The volume wheel does not turn infinitely, it has a very specific turn. It is not a digital controller, it is an analog volume wheel. It has a very smooth movement once you use it a bit. And I actually noticed that it works very well both for EMs, even for very sensitive EMs, like the Percussion 3 from Jomo Audio. And it also works well with headphones, even for HiFi and Sundara, it can drive them quite well, or for Sigva P2, or for Soundmagic HP1000, it is pretty versatile as a DAP. The DX220 also has a SPDIF output at the top. So if you need a SPDIF output or an optical output, it makes a very good transport, although I would not pay $1,880 for a transport. I would really use this as a standalone DAP. That is the price point, by the way, $1,880. It is the price point I could find everywhere. Very specific price point, I'll be honest with you. It has a Type-C USB input, and it also works for charging it and for using it as USB DAC. As far as I've noticed, the Type-C input does not charge both batteries, only the battery for the OS, and the battery for the audio part needs to be charged by a DC or direct current input, and it comes with a transformer for that input in the package, so pretty specific usage. The power button is the main button to turn it on, and once you have turned it on, you can see that it is a pretty quick DAP. You can also run it in Mango mode, which is a music-only mode. A lot of people have been saying that the Mango mode sounds a bit better, it has a slightly better control. I actually haven't heard a very big difference between the Mango and an Android mode, but that may be because I use quite a few features from Android, so I didn't really take advantage of the Mango mode. But for those needing a DAP, a high-end DAP, doing just audio, the Mango mode will be there for you. iBasso is one of the most reliable companies out there, offering one of the best warranties in the entire world. They really answer pretty much every single inquiry. They are very reliable. iBasso will help you, and you can rely on the X220 to be a companion for a really long time. There are about 5 batteries inside, 5 different batteries, but you have 2 indicators of those batteries, so you basically need to take care about 2 things. As you can see, they are both shown in the Mango mode and also in Android mode, although in Android they are in separate corners, and the left corner shows the analog battery while the right corner shows the digital battery. The digital battery is the one used for the OS and for the entire DAP, while the analog battery is just used for sound and for music. They separated those batteries to lower the noise of the overall DAP, so it is as clean and as crisp and as clear as it is humanly possible. It has 2 volumes, one which is this volume wheel and one which is the Android volume wheel, which is the DAC volume. Basically, it allows you to change the volume of the DAC separate from the volume of the analog output. The analog stage has the best performance it is possible if you separate those, because the DAC can be left at maximum, which is always ideal, and you can set the analog volume to the maximum. It really has a ton of features, and I need quite a bit more time. This is one of the first time I have heard a difference between the filters. It has digital filters, and I've heard quite a bit of a difference between those filters, so I still cannot really describe them because right now I have just started using it. It also has DAC mode, so you can really use it as a USB DAC which for me has been the main usage scenario for it for a while, because it is a very nice unit to have on your desk. I just leave it there and it pretty much slaughters the Arm Tramp, but that is to be expected. It is many times more expensive. As I've been saying, this is a high-end product made for high-end usage, and if you aren't a very dedicated enthusiast, you may feel that having 1 kilogram of a DAP isn't that practical. For me, personally, it is very practical. I just mean this. I'm using it in a side bag. I don't use this for jogging. As you can see, it would probably give me muscles if I use this for jogging because it has 1 kilogram. So I don't really mind the entire DAP. I think it is pretty beautiful. The display is very bright, and although the display has quite a bit of space around it, as you can see, the display is not exactly the entire face. The DAP has very thick bezels around the display, but it is pretty bright. You can see everything on it. It has very high definition. It has a very good color contrast, very punchy colors, and the battery lasts quite well, because this was one of my main concerns with the previous iBasso DAPs. For example, the DX220, the battery life was quite short and I couldn't use it for very long. This one has much better battery life, so it is an upgrade. Well, it isn't exactly an upgrade to DX220. That one is considerably more portable. This one is an upgrade to having a DAP that you can move around and having a USB DAC and having a high quality DAC because it even has balanced outputs. It isn't exactly a direct upgrade to any DAP because it is so heavy and so unpractical for a lot of people that I wouldn't call it an upgrade. Sonically, it is an upgrade. As a general device, it is discutable. I wouldn't really say an upgrade. It is an alternative and it is a new concept of a DAP. I prefer this concept, and I'll be honest with you, if every company makes one, I will be the first to review it because I really love it. This is a very nice concept and I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying the DX220 Max greatly. I will make another video where I go more in depth with the sound, with the specific characteristics. So far, the sound is very detailed, very crisp, much cleaner than I was expecting. It is a very clean sound. It has excellent amounts of control, and despite having so many outputs and so much power and boasting so much, the power isn't quite as good as the control it has. It isn't really that type that goes really loud. The maximum loudness has the maximum clarity, and that is a good thing because you can turn it all the way to the maximum while it is still clear. It still has the best quality I have heard. The soundstage is huge. It is expanded in every direction, but the dynamics impress me the most. It is very, very dynamic. It also has a slightly warm type of signature. It has a very slight warmish signature, which makes it pretty musical. In the end, I find it to be pretty musical as a DAP. Generally, it has very good musicality along with very good clarity, and it has a ton of detail. It is pretty much the most detailed DAP I have heard to date. Only iBasso's DX220 with AMP9 really competes with it, and this one still comes out a bit better. It beats the Opus 2, it also beats HBR6 and even M11 Pro. It is a bit better than the M11 Pro. Quite a bit better. It is pretty much the top dog as a DAP right now from what I've heard. It also beats the QLS QA361, which I have reviewed on Audiophile-Heaven. So yeah, it is a pretty good top dog as a DAP. I will be making a video review and also a written review. I thank you for watching and sticking with me through this entire video. I hope you have a lovely weekend there. I hope you will like this video. Also subscribe to Audiophile-Heaven for more content, and we'll see each other really soon. Bye bye.